Hello and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. We have Tom here with us. He's a voiceover strategist and actually has very interesting story to share. So Tom, please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi there. My name is Tom Dheere. I'm a full time voice actor based here in New York City. I've been pursuing voiceover for over 30 years now. Credits you may have heard of include the video game Red Dead Redemption. I was in Red Redemption 1 and 2. I narrated a Danielle Steele audiobook. I was Inspector Gadget in the last Inspector Gadget video game a few years ago. And I'm also known as the VO Strategist. I'm a voiceover business and marketing consultant. I help freelancers in every industry, but specifically, I specialize in voice actors, help them navigate the industry, help them write a business plan, manage their time, pay their taxes, develop a marketing strategy, and do a lot of what I call the poopy grown up stuff that people who entered the industry didn't know they needed to do to be effective and relevant.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah, absolutely. So what actually inspired you to become the voiceover actor?
Well, I was a theater trained actor. I went to the National Shakespeare Conservatory here in New York City. After 1 year in the 2 year program, I decided it wasn't a good fit for me. So I was literally at home living with my mother in my early 20s, and my mom was reading a magazine. And in the back of the magazine, there was an advertisement for a voiceover coach. And she suggested that I give them a call. And I did. That was 1994. I trained with them. I produced my first voiceover demo. And then in 1996, I booked my first voiceover job. And I was part time until 2005. I went full time in 2005, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, wow, fantastic. Yeah, and then obviously voiceover strategist. I mean, what is the actual? So how did you go into this like transformation from being a voiceover actor to now becoming a voiceover strategist?
In 2011, a friend of mine invited me to go to a voiceover conference. This is one of the first ones that there was. And this particular conference has what's called an unconference format, which means there are no scheduled speakers or sponsors. Only 100 voice actors were allowed to attend, and they were vetted. And then we would decide what the agenda would be, and we would be the speakers at the conference. So I did not think I deserved to be there. I didn't think I was successful enough, but I got accepted. And so I had many years of corporate training. So I created a workshop at that conference about how to write a business plan as a voice actor, which really nobody had ever done before. It sounds obvious, but like it just hadn't been done. And I did my presentation. It was a very big success. Within a couple weeks, a voiceover school here in New York City contacted me and said they want me to be their business and marketing instructor. And I worked for them for over 10 years. And a few years after that, I came up with the branding of VO Strategist. So I've been, helping voice actors navigate the industry ever since.
Great. And what's your goal for your business for the next 12 months?
Not go out of business. I'm kidding. The voiceover industry is in a very challenging place right now. Between COVID, which did a lot of damage to our business, multiple union strikes, which, ultimately, ideally will improve our business and strengthen our business, but it caused a lot of problems. AI has been doing a lot of damage to our business. Tariffs have been doing a lot of damage to our business. And also, directly as a result of COVID, we were flooded with aspiring voice actors because every TV and film and theater actor, their careers vanished. They couldn't work, so a lot of them flocked to the voiceover industry. So right now, there are too many people trying to be voice actors. AI is taking away a lot of the voiceover work. Tariffs is making people hold off on making decisions about casting voiceover actors for their projects. So my job as both a voice actor and as the VO strategist is to understand the technology, the politics, the economics, and the logistics of it, so I can continue to be relevant and effective as a voice actor, and so I can teach my students to continue to be relevant and effective as a voice actor.
Exactly. And what type of clients do you usually serve as a voice actor?
As a voice actor, the majority of the work I do is non broadcast informational content, specifically e learning modules for students, industrial modules for employees who are watching a human resources video or a compliance video or a test or certification video. I narrate a lot of explainer videos for companies of all sizes. I do commercials. Like I said, I occasionally do video game and animation, but the vast majority of the work is stuff that only a few students or a few employees will ever hear. That's the majority of the work I do.
Okay, and what about like any audiobooks or stuff like that?
I've narrated over 70 audiobooks. The first one I narrated was the Danielle Steele audiobook, Amazing Grace. And I've narrated a lot of science fiction titles, mostly short stories. I've narrated some other romance titles. The majority of the work that I have narrated has been nonfiction business leadership audiobooks, helping managers, helping managers inspire employees, how to navigate working from home, and a whole bunch of different other subjects.
Yeah, wonderful. I mean, and what's the usual process of how people actually get into your world or connect to you? Like how that goes?
For people that want to be voice actors these days, they decide they want to try it. They use Google. They find a coach. They find a demo producer, which may or may not be legitimate or professional, which may or may not give them the training that they need or a demo that they want. There's a lot of predators in the voiceover industry. There's a lot of scams. If they're able to navigate all of that, work with a good coach, get the training that they need, build a home recording studio, because there's no auditioning outside of the home anymore. When COVID hit, all auditions in person are just gone. So you have to be able to record from home, and almost all of your bookings that you do as a voice actor are going to be from home. It's very rare for most voice actors to ever see the inside of an actual recording studio. You need to build your own website, and you need to build your own marketing strategy. So it's extremely difficult to be able to find the right people and spend the right amount of money in the right way to position yourself to start your voiceover business. And then you have to learn how to find work. Do you find them through, you can find them through agents and managers and casting directors. You can find them through online casting sites, both free and pay to play. And you can develop your own self-marketing strategies like cold calling or blogging or social media. And no two journeys or formulas are alike. Everybody has to navigate the industry in their own way and, figure out what their own path to success is.
Okay, thanks for sharing that, Tom. And if someone wants to actually get in touch with you, learn more about you, connect to you, how they can do that?
Oh, sure. You can just go to vostrategist.com. I strongly encourage you to explore my website, book a free 15-minute consult so I can answer any questions that you may have, whether you're just curious about the voiceover industry or you're curious about freelancing, or maybe you have a couple of specific questions. I encourage you to check out all the services that I provide, which include strategy sessions, mentorship sessions, diagnostic sessions. And I also encourage you to check out my VO How-To Library, which is a series of over 30 streaming videos that cover almost every business and marketing aspect of the voiceover industry.
I mean, I've probably done like hundreds and hundreds of those podcasts, and I usually ask people, how people can get in touch with them. And I think this was one of the best explanation and presentation. Really well done on that, Tom. So yeah, thank you all for watching and listening to this episode. If you liked it, drop us a like, subscribe, and also share it with your friends and family. If you have any questions for Tom or me, you can ask them in the comments. And on top of that, thank you all for watching. Tom, thanks a lot for being a guest, sharing your tips, and see you all in the next episode. All the best and bye-bye.